2 of our summer bucket list illustrations, or your advertisements for summer, however you decided to execute this project. Today we're going to be coloring in our illustrations, and I chose to use markers for mine. And I just have a couple tips for you when you're coloring these in. You want to make sure that you're coloring slowly with markers. So you want to go real slow. You want to put your strokes going the same direction, and you want to put them right next to each other. So don't color the top of an area and then come back down in the bottom of an area and go a different direction and then color in the middle. So I like to start like on the top left or on the top and work my way down and go real slow. Keep my strokes going all the same direction. It's harder to do with Crayola. If you have like some higher quality markers, it's a little bit easier, but you can get good coverage and do a good job with Crayola as well. If you don't know what color they are, or if your marker doesn't work well, the best thing to do is test it on a scrap piece of paper first before you just dive right into your final drawing or illustration with it. That way you know, is this the right blue? Or because sometimes the cap doesn't match the color of the marker exactly. And sometimes if you're at school or you have younger siblings or something, somebody puts the wrong marker cap on that wrong color. So make sure you're using the color that you want by testing it a little bit on the side. Let me show you real quickly. I'll speed up my coloring video and show you how I colored my bucket list. So I colored my sand first. I just told you to start at the top, but I started at the bottom. It doesn't really matter because markers dry quick, so they probably won't smear. So I started at the bottom with my sand and my ocean. If you want to work with a color scheme, you can. Like, let's say you want to use all cool colors or all warm colors, depending on, you know, what your illustrations are. Your things don't have to be realistically colored. So I made my mountains green, but they could be purple or red. You don't have to have green mountains. I don't have a color theme. My illustration is just going to be colorful. I didn't want to stick with a particular color scheme or a theme, but you certainly could. I felt like mine was kind of all over the place, so my illustrations are kind of all over the place, so I wanted to use a bunch of different colors. I will tell you, I felt like the sky behind the sun needed something because I have that little river going under the road, and then I have the ocean, but I added some rays that you'll see later above my sun because I felt like it was just kind of static and just strange empty space right there. So static means kind of just still and empty. So I decided to put some rays back there, and you'll see at the end of the video how much better it looks. All right, so do a good job coloring in all the elements in your illustration. If you would like to use colored pencil, you can, but again, you're gonna color slowly with your strokes all going the same direction, whichever medium you use, color pencils or marker. If you don't have either one of those things and you have to use crayons, that would be totally fine too. I wanted to color my zinnias different colors and very colorful because that's what they look like in the garden when they're really growing. I didn't like leaving my bucket white with my background white. So if I wanted a white bucket and I wanted that to stand out, then I would paint my background behind my bucket. But I decided that I wanted to leave my background white, so I'm going to change the color of my bucket. So now I just have to pick out a color that's gonna go with my other colors of my illustration, but not compete with them. So I was thinking either a light color like pink or a darker color like a royal or a navy blue. You can see here my finished illustration. I opted for like a royal blue, and then you can kind of see those sun's rays at the bottom that I was talking about. I think that looks a little bit more interesting down there in that empty white space. For many of us, this may be our last project together or our second to last project together. So take your time with these, do a good job with them, and have fun. I just wanted to review real quickly with you the art elements that we're using in this project. We used line, we used shape. You may have used form if you tried to make anything look 3D. We used space because we designed our composition. We definitely used color. Probably didn't use value unless you tried to shade or highlight something. And you may or may not have used texture. It just depends on what you illustrated and how you did it. So we used 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 of the art elements. So that's pretty good. I wanted to let everybody know that next year I'll be going back to Gandy in person. I'm super excited about that because I've missed my students terribly, and I've missed working with sculpture materials and things like clay and seeing what everybody creates. So I'm very excited to, and I've missed my coworkers, my colleagues. So I'm very excited to go back in person. And if you're going to stay in the online school, you will have a different art teacher, and your classes will be, you will have art with your class live over video. So that's called synchronous instruction. So your teacher will be teaching you a class live, and you'll all have class for 30 or 40 minutes together, and then your class will be over. So you won't be learning from videos. So I just wanted you to know that if you're gonna be still in the online school, art will be a little bit different next year for everybody. All right, boys and girls, take care. Hopefully I will see you around. Bye-bye.